Carlos, the Ultimate Fitness Trainer once again, and thank you so much for watching the video. And today we're doing a video in this beautiful Sutton Park while doing power walk as well. So I've had a lot of requests about perfection and why perfection affects us, and is it real, is it a curse, is it something that people are looking for, something that's so impossible to achieve. So I'm going to give you 5 main tips as to why comparison is not good, and maybe they will help you, maybe, and that's a big maybe, if you actually like to be helped as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with number 1 is comparison. Now, when you start striving for perfection, what we tend to do, we tend to compare ourselves to others, and we compare lifestyles, we compare body weights, we compare the way we look, we compare the clothes we buy, we compare status, we compare the car we drive, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Even to the toilet roll you use in a toilet, I'm sure, because a lot of people are so competitive that they start comparing to that sort of extent, and that can cause a lot of sleepless nights, believe it or not. And you might think, is that true? It is. For the guys that are trying to be perfect, they'll start obviously having a lot of competition around them, and competition causes obviously comparison. Am I bigger? Am I better? Am I smaller? Can I do it? And this can cause a lot of problems. So one of the main things that we should stop doing is compare ourselves to others. Now, I know it's hard because in nowadays, with social media being such a massive part of all of our lives, it can be really hard not to compare, because obviously I'm sure you guys have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and sometimes seeing others perhaps doing so well. And remember, everyone that is on Twitter, or when I say everyone, most people that are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms, they only post the things that are very good. Very rarely they post anything that is bad. So therefore, all you see is them going out, having great fun. A lot of times they might have a miserable life. However, when they put the picture, they look absolutely so glamorous, and everything's fine. Because why? It's for the gram. It's for the grading, to see whether other people actually believe in what they're actually doing. Believe it or not, although I'm on social media, one of the things I do, I want to portray what I am. There's no point in me pretending to be someone else, you know. And I have, excuse my language, I have a shitting piss and eat like you do. I'm no different to anybody. I just happen to maybe have a little bit more talent towards the fitness industry, psychology, training, coaching, that sort of stuff. But I'm not different to anybody, and I'm sure, I hope I come across that way. But sometimes on Instagram, we see all the time these people, and this actually leads to the comparison thing that we're looking at. Is we live in an era of comparing ourselves. And this is, once we compare, there's a lot of problems that then leads to number 2, which is competition. Okay, what happens when you are in a competition? Obviously, it creates a lot of adrenaline. Okay, it creates a lot of rivalry. Excuse me. So if there's competition, so I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm faster than you, or whatever it is, what we tend to find that there's a lot of ways of competing. Okay, and these people, a lot of times, if they can't compete with you, they'll bring you now down to their level, and this can cause a lot of problems. And as you know, I'm sure you guys have, maybe at work, maybe people you know, maybe even people that follow you on Instagram. Remember, sometimes our biggest haters are the guys that follow you. So not all your followers, believe it or not, and I'm sure I've got them, a lot of them as well, people that actually hate you, but they just want to check out what you're doing. So they become to be your biggest fans to a degree. However, they're just there to watch you. Okay, not to like you, is to watch you. Okay, which obviously they haven't got much going on in their lives. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough time to watch you. But this leads to a lot of competition, and competition is not a good thing when it comes to live a peaceful life. Yes, it's good to have competition in terms of having yourself, say, if you play a sport, for instance, of course there's got to be a level of competition, otherwise it wouldn't be a sport. Of course it's good to have us to want to do well. But why do I need to do better than my cousin or my ancestor or my brother or my sister or my? Why do I need to do that? There's no reason for it. If I've got a happy life, you see people like, you go to a lot of places sometimes and you see people that they're not doing extraordinary well, okay, but they're really happy with their own lives. They're very peaceful, okay. They've got richness, okay, in their own life, because all they need is a level of happiness with what they have. So being happy sometimes, because we live in this sort of society now with social media, that unless you are a multi-millionaire and you've got a Ferrari, a Lamborghini and a massive mansion, then you are happy. Who told you that? Who told you that? It may look very nice, but these people that have got that, do you know them? Do you actually personally know what they're going through and what it's taken them to achieve that? And I think because social media portrays all this sort of glamorous lifestyle, and I'm not saying that's to knock anyone that's trying to aim to do that. Maybe you need a bit of coaching. Maybe you need to actually set your goals and values and think, is that what I really need? Rather than perhaps spending time with loved ones. Maybe give something to others. Okay, I'll give you an example. I do something every week, of which I do without, broadcasting quite a lot. I go and feed the homeless. That's something I want to do. Do I need to do that? No, I don't, but I do because I want to. Okay, and that cleanses my soul. Okay, now a lot of us out there, we become quite greedy about what we have, and we've got to get bigger and better and stronger. For what? Maybe to try to compete with other people that hate you, and they're trying to do the same thing. So it becomes almost like a fight. Let's see if I can have a bigger car or a bigger house than my next door neighbor. Why are you doing that for? The thing is, in 50, 60, 70 years time, we're all going to be dust. We're all going to be gone out of here. So why don't you just live and love the life you've got right now and spend time with other people that love you, and share the love and spend the right amount of time with people that love you, and actually have a good time and enjoy your life, rather than trying to compete and compare for perfection. Why is perfection why is perfection? Look, we are in nature right now here, right? Can you, I know I'm moving quite fast, but can you check any straight lines here? Okay, now let's talk about a particular thing that comes from Earth. Okay, nature, okay, a tree. I can't see a straight line in that tree. I can't see it. Okay, the wind comes, the tree bends, and winters come, and summers come, it's still there, but there's no straight lines, there's no perfection. It's a perfect imperfection, okay? Even nature shows us this, okay? There's no perfection, okay? But we tend to actually look for this particular perfection that exists. Remember, when you arrive at the so-called perfect life, it's time for you to go, okay? So there's no point, okay? Enjoy it. These days may lead to a lot of other things, which is number 3. Mental health. Okay, what happens when you do not achieve, or you so-called don't achieve the perfection life that you think you should have achieved? What happens to your mental health? Okay, you may ask, what happens, Carlos? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, when you become in your mind unsuccessful, so let's say you want to get that job and you don't get the job, you want to get X amount of money, you don't reach it, maybe you want to look in a particular way, and you think in your mind that you're not looking that particular way. Maybe for, let's say you want a better hairstyle, or maybe you want bigger boobs, or maybe you want a particular amount of filler in your lips and Botox and whatever it is, okay? For the guys that may want a six-pack, for maybe get a little bit more muscular, or maybe get a little faster, or maybe get a little bit more stronger. Let's say you don't do the right things and you don't achieve that. What happens neurologically? If you speak to any psychologist, they'll tell you what happens is your serotonin levels begin to decrease. Now, when your serotonin levels begin to decrease, what happens is we enter a mode in our brain which can lead to depression. Okay, now I'm sure you guys probably seen my videos about depression. Now, when it leads to a level of depression, and there's many levels of depression, by the way, and I do not underestimate depression, by the way. It's probably one of the, for the guys that have had it, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's probably the scariest thing a human being can can survive. And if you can survive it, I tell you, you will be an absolutely amazing warrior. Well done. Okay, excuse me. So I would say to you, once your serotonin levels decrease, your hippocampus, which is situated in the middle of your brain, hippocampus, Google it, you'll see it. The smaller your hippocampus, the more chances of you becoming depressed, okay? So why does that lead to mental health, and why am I talking about mental health, about being perfect, is because when you're trying to being perfect and things don't go your way, because perfection doesn't actually exist. It's like that tree over there. If he wants to be a particular straight tree with no bends, you'll be there an entire millions and trillions of years. It will not happen, okay? And that's an artificial, okay? So what we're going to do is we then lead to us being very upset, in very sort of almost like we're contradicting what we're really supposed to be, which is free beings and live life freely, okay? So it has to be in a particular way. We become almost control freaks, and that can lead to a lot of mental problems, okay? Now, one of the biggest things that obviously can lead to, it can lead to obviously depression, it can lead to a lot of becoming control OCD. It can lead you to a lot of other things, which can lead you to panic attacks, anxiety, etc. And that is not a good thing. However, for the guys that don't understand that, do a bit of research around that, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about is true. So I would definitely say to you guys, please be careful on trying to achieve a level of perfection on anything. Now, this is not to mistake people that, for instance, do a particular job or do a particular sport and they're so good at it and they achieve excellence, okay? There's a lot of levels of excellence, okay? Don't mistake it by perfection, okay? If you name anyone in sport that is absolutely unbelievable, yet they're not perfect, okay? Because no one is perfect, nothing's perfect, okay? Although we might call it, oh, this is perfect. In what level? In what terms? What do you class perfection, okay? So that is it, okay? Then leads to number 4, and this is something that is very, 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 very important for the guys that understand the curses that sometimes we embark on ourselves. Is perfection is a curse. I mean, a lot of spiritual guys talk about perfection is a curse, because then if you want to be perfect, it's a level of a spiritual problem that's already in you. So there's bad energy, so you need to cleanse yourself. You need to spend time with good people, you need to do more meditation, you need to start eating a lot of plant-based food, and this then can lead into more like the spiritual side of things. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm a quite spiritual guy, but I would say on this one, a lot of times, some people that are not so spiritual and more factual people maybe think, I'm not sure about this one. What I would say to you guys on this one is, when you call it, I'm sure you probably heard it, like perfection is a curse. Do your research about it. I would sit on a fence on this one. I'm not sure whether it's a curse or it's a bad habit, because remember, once you start telling yourself, oh, this is not the right way. Say, for instance, if I want to go down this hill and I want to, say, go really smoothly, and all of a sudden I hit a pothole and twist my ankle or whatever, I get really upset. All of a sudden it hasn't gone as smooth as I wanted, because all I want to do is 2 hours of cardio without any injuries, and also I get really upset and I start getting depressed because I just twisted my ankle and my whole life is all ruined because of that. Obviously, some people get really, it gets into they escalate it into a complete, totally unrealistic level, and this is why then the perfection. But they do these in a lot of different aspects as well. They don't just do these in say at home. They'll do it at work. They'll do it in sport. They'll do it with friends. Say they call a friend, if the friend don't call them back within 2 minutes, then all of a sudden they're not friends anymore. So this then can lead to a lot of different things, and they become very much controlling into whatever they do. And then this is going to lead to the last one, which is the control. Remember, the actual word perfection comes from a level of control. Okay, it's all about control. Okay, now if you want to be perfect, I bet you 100,000,000% that you are a control freak. Okay, and that control freak could be at home, it could be with friends, it could be at work, it could be whatever sport you play, it could be in the gym, it could be outside, it could be playing golf. These people hate the fact that there's anything in control but them. Okay, so this is a massive problem because it's clearly something you created in your brain in terms of habits. And I've said this to you guys, obviously, thoughts creates patterns, patterns creates behavior, behavior creates neuroplasticity, and neuroplasticity creates your complete persona. Okay, persona comes from personality, and then once that starts working against you, which is obviously perfection is nothing that I would say anybody. I'm looking around because you know what, sometimes there's a lot of cows here, so if you're not careful you don't want a bull or two to absolutely do a number on you. So I'm pretty fast, but you never know, so I'm just checking because I thought I heard a couple, but no. Anyway, I'll go back into what I was just saying. So that control is a really bad thing. So the guys that love perfection, they love control. So, and if they don't get the control, their lives goes hey-ho. It's like a 999 call. They have to be in control of everything. And don't take me wrong, you may find these people sometimes in jobs that they are managers or they are bosses or they are in power jobs, and that is fantastic for their job because that's what they get paid for, but not necessarily at home, not necessarily with family, not necessarily with friends. So you'll probably find that a lot of people that strive to be perfect, they're very good at a particular role in their lives. Could be their job, could be their family, could be I don't know, it could be even sports, it could even be anything, but then they're very bad on other things. Because remember, if you had a boss as an example and you're very good at your job, all of a sudden you're trying to boss your wife or your husband or your kids, you're gonna have a bit of a problem because they'll look at you and think, oh, the hell are you? You know, because at the end of the day, you don't pay them, okay? So they are on a different level. So it's a different level of hierarchy. So hierarchy is something that we all, as a human race, work on. It's all about who is the boss or who is the second in charge. We all look at it. We go to school, we get told. Maybe there's and they get told by the teacher. Then there's a head teacher. Then there's a second head teacher. Then there's then we leave that and then we go into university. The same thing. There's hierarchy all the way through. And then we get a job. Same thing. Then we climb the ladder. And sometimes we realise that it's all about competition. And then this leads to a lot of problems, of which is perfection. So to resume this, okay, so you may say, Carlos, so what we so-called control freaks, so-called perfection people that strive for perfection, what shall we do? My personal advice, as a trainer, as a coach, as a qualified psychologist, I would tell you, stop trying to control everything. Control the variables. What I mean by that is only control things that matter. Analyze what matters. Okay? So for instance, let's say I'm walking down the street here, okay? I'm walking down a beautiful place, okay? I don't know whether there's another car coming at 60 miles an hour. So there's no point in me trying to stress about something that hasn't even happened, okay? Believe it or not, control freaks, perfection people will be worried about that, okay? So make sure you're trying to control the things that you are in control of, which is one, your body, and two, your mind. Relax more, okay? Start doing exercises of which you actually laugh of not being perfect. Okay, who is perfect? Okay, I'll give you an example. Like you see me walking down here. Okay, I've got my glasses like this. Some people might have the glasses like that, and they think they're really cool. I might have my glasses like this, or they just came off, right? I might have my glasses like this. Some people might take the piss. I don't really care. I might have my hair blowing out of proportion. I don't really care because I feel good within myself. And this is the biggest things. You've got to feel good within your own skin. You've got to. Now, this is not for saying that you don't need to improve. That's a different thing. Remember, the key is to develop. The guys that work close to me hear me saying, keep the momentum going. Because we never, ever, ever reach perfection. There's always a level of improvement. There's always a level of learning. There's always a level of getting better. Okay? the biggest thing is enjoy the journey. And that's what I want you guys to go home with, enjoy the journey. So with all that said, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope I cleared a lot of different aspects. If you do need to contact me on Carlos Trainer 10 Instagram, okay, YouTube channel, which is Carlos Trainer. Please, just there should be either top, bottom right, bottom left, I think. Just subscribe if you can. Also check us out on our website, which is www.ultimatefitnesstrainer.co.uk. We are on a verge to set up a beautiful site there, of which is gonna obviously expose us to a lot of different types of training as well, which is going to be great for you guys in order to help you guys become a fitter, stronger, healthier, happier version. So with all that said, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay fit in this beautiful park, Sutton Park. Take care. Get fitter, get healthier, get happier, become your greatest version. In ourselves, have the motivation every day in order to help you become a greater version of ourselves. Stay happy. Remember, while you're becoming your greatest versions, don't forget, have fun as well, because a lot of times you can be very serious as well. So have fun, like I always do, although doing these videos, and it gets really serious sometimes about coaching, training, psychology, problems, everything. It's always sometimes to become a kid as well and just enjoy and laugh, laugh, laugh. Believing in you is the most important, vital component in order to become a greater version of yourself. So regardless of what others think of you, always believe you can do it. You came here in order to live your best life, so express yourself. Take care. Development for ourselves is to believe in ourselves and believe in your intuition in order to become better every day, in order to ask your own self, am I doing the best I can in order to become a better version of me? The main thing in life is to have vision, no excuses, and follow your heart, and ultimately become a greater version of yourself. Believe in yourself, that's all it is. Believe in yourself and do not allow external events to dictate your present situation. Two things of which I think is really important in order to become better version of yourself is gratitude and discipline.